Hey guys, got another game for you, and guess what? It includes a commander that has no blue in the casting cost. That's right, Grenzo, Dungeon Warden, makes an appearance. I've actually played against this guy a fair amount in the past couple of weeks. I'm not sure when he was printed, but so far I haven't lost to it. I've been a little bit impressed by it, but it seems very swingy to me. I mean, obviously you can spend 4 mana to make a 4/4 black creature, which is kind of cool, kind of intimidating, but really not all that particularly scary. Certainly, there's plenty of things that you could reveal with the ability on it to punish your opponent. But either my opponents got unlucky, or they didn't play their decks or build their decks particularly well, or I was just able to keep Grenzo out of play. But whatever the case, I've never really been punished by the ability and wasn't too impressed with it. But I think it was yesterday, Nate wrote me a rather hysterical email after a loss to Grenzo, where he was bemoaning how unfair it was. And so I assured him that it wasn't as good as I think he thought it was, that I had no problem with it, but I decided that, to be fair, I had to at least try to build a deck using the commander myself, just to see for sure if my instincts were right. And this game that I'm recording is about the 12th game I think I've played with the deck. I think I've played about 15 so far, and I haven't lost yet. However, I feel like it's mainly the consequence of the fact that black-red heavy disruption is just very effective in EDH, no matter what your commander is. I've certainly played Grenzo a lot, but his ability has come into play almost zero. In fact, I think this may be the only game where I've successfully brought a creature from the bottom of my deck into play, and it's to a rather hilarious effect, as you will see. Anyway, let's move forward with the game. This is the second time I've tried to record the replay. The first time the replay bugged out when I tried to cast this Everflowing Chalice in a few turns, so I'm going to be fast forwarding through that turn, hopefully to get past it. Gotta love the client. Anyway, turn 1 play from Omnath with no acceleration is probably pretty bad for him, and I just top deck Duress. So we get to take a peek here. Oh, and I can actually show you what the deck looks like. I skipped through it in the last replay, but I'm going to show it right now. Alright, there's my land over there. Scattered throughout. Again, like, I feel that a fair amount of these designs are a bit paint by the numbers. This is kind of just my standard black-red archetype of land hand destruction, using all the best cards that accomplish that, but trying at least to exploit Grenzo's ability the best I can. So there's a lot of 1 and 2 power creatures that he can bring into play using his ability that kind of crush the opponent, and not too many big guys. You'd probably play a few more big creatures if you weren't playing with Grenzo, and especially with all this ramp, because you'd just be expecting to hard cast them. But I do have some big creatures. I've got Runescar Demon in here, I've got Grave Titan and Inferno Titan, but I've also got a lot of little guys and Kiki-Jiki, of course, which can also be fetched by Grenzo really easily. I've got the Dwarven Duo, who always give a lot of dex fits, and quite a bit of artifact kill as well. Just solid red-black cards, really, and good tutoring, and some solid card draw. Don't have Necro in here. I really don't think you probably need it, because you have a card advantage engine coming from your commander and enough other card advantage outlets in the black cards that the triple black casting cost is a little clunky and heavy. So I'm not using it right now. I do have Chaos Warp in here too. Jury's still out on this, but for now I've got it. Anyway. We're just getting Badlands, casting Duress, and I see a hand with a lot of green dorks and no forests. So he kept a draw with 1 forest and 2 rampant growth type spells. And obviously I'm going to pick the better of the 2, which is Nature's Lore, so it's gone. And he passes with no play, so punished for keeping the 1 land draw. Hopefully we can punish some more. I draw Graven Cairns. So here I'm just going to put out the Grim Lavamancer, and this guy just seems like he's amazing in this deck. Not only is it, I think, really important for land hand destruction decks to play with cards like Grim Lavamancer, because you can kill a lot of their land, but if they get a fast creature ramp draw with Birds of Paradise and various other little guys like that, various elves, they can often just outrun the LD and put you on the back foot. Grim Lavamancer is just amazing for crushing all those little mana creatures early, and can be used to finish off bigger guys too later on. So I think it's really solid. Plus it has amazing synergy with Grenzo's ability, because you just load up the graveyard naturally by failing to put creatures into play, which is what normally happens. The Carnarium. turn 3, and he did get his second green, so we will have a bit of a game here. Although, as I saw, his hand is mostly unwieldy, and if he did draw a forest, that means he has most of those same heavy, expensive cards in his hand. Alright. I'm actually filming this game not really because it's a particularly close game, but because of some hilarity that ensues a little bit later. Alright, this turn I'm just going to ramp out. I could play Grenzo as a 3-3, which isn't too bad, but at the same time I'd rather cast him as a much bigger, intimidating creature to deal with what green has, and put my opponent on a much faster clock. And plus, of course, make his ability fetch anything that just about anything in my deck. So I decided I'm just going to ramp instead. I'm going to have to fast forward this turn because if I try to manually click through when I cast a Chalice, it'll get stuck. I'm just going to do that. Alright, so that's the turn. Pretty straightforward. And I don't attack with Grim Lavamancer, just on the very, very slim chance that he drew some green flash creature. Makes no sense to attack with it, since the 1 damage is not going to matter at all. So on his turn, he cycles the Krosan Tusker, which I guess he drew last turn or this turn. So forest and an elf. Okay, so those are his last 2 draws right there, probably. I didn't see either one when I duressed. Grim Lavamancer has that covered. But I actually decide, just going back to what he had in his hand before, 7 mana Trolls, Verdant Force, Wild Size, a 4 mana enchantment that gives these guys +1/+1 and trample or something. Anyway, and infect, I guess. His hand is really not going to gel around, even if he draws a forest, it's not going to gel around 6 mana. So I actually don't really feel a need to kill the elf off right away, and I'd rather just cast a huge Grenzo instead. So down comes Grenzo as a 6/6. Pretty awesome. Alright, what's he doing? Yep, sure enough, he has no real good play except for casting Omnath, which might be a small problem if I didn't have Dreadbore and Flametongue Kavu in my hand. Alright. Liliana Vest, pretty nice too. Just going to send in Mr. Grenzo. Of course he can't block. I'm going to break his back with Flametongue Kavu. Pretty brutal. And I've got an activation of this. And I think at this point, rather than using Grenzo and the random, probably less than 10% chance of flipping over a good creature, I decided I'd rather just kill off the Finhorn Elf and keep his mana constrained. And I can equip a Skull Clamp. It might have made some sense actually to put the Skull Clamp on Grenzo, because a 7-power commander is 25% more lethal, or 30% more lethal than a 6-power commander, but either way, I don't think it matters a whole lot. Alright, 4 mana. Scarlet Bandits. Wow, alright. I guess from like the Dark or something. I don't think I've ever had someone play this creature against me in EDH. I do remember it. Alright, no land. So I'm so happy about the idea of attacking with a Flametongue Kavu with Skull Clamp on it that I just forget to attack with Grenzo. I'm just so much in the Nin mentality of never attacking with my creatures, unless they're 5/5 artifacts. But again, I don't think the game's going to be decided by damage. Alright, come on Grenzo, make magic happen. Holy shit, I got something. And it's Ingature. Amazingly. This is actually, in game 12 or whatever, this is the first time I've successfully used Grenzo to get a creature out of my deck and put it into play. And it happens to be an Ingature, and my opponent happens to have no artifacts. So that sucks. Fortunately, I can target the Mind Stone and sack it, which is what I do. Alright, Vandal Blast, nice. Alright, well, surely the next Grenzo activation will be good. Ravenous Baboons, you got it. Yes, this is exactly what Grenzo is supposed to do. See, it works really well with Grim Lavamancer. You cast creatures from the bottom of your deck that destroy your own permanents, and then you can use Grim Lavamancer to kill your opponent's Scarlet Bandits, which is a 2/2. It's amazing synergy, right? It's all planned out. Yeah, it would have been nice to bash him for 6 there, but whatever. Alright, Imperious Perfect. And there's the Seeker of Skybreak that I saw. Imperial Seal. Just gonna brawl with everybody here. He's welcome to block whatever he wants. He'll take a ton of damage. Smash is at 13. So Now I can use the ability, and there's a workshop. I have quite a bit less mana than I had last turn. Polluted Delta, well, that's enough to shoot that thing down. And in the face of inevitable pressure and being at 13 with this active engine going, my opponent scoops it up. Anyway, just a cool game. Not a particularly close one again, but neat to see the Grenzo activations backfire so badly. Of course, against a more stalwart deck, I think building Gachura and Baboons here would have been amazing and totally backbreaking as far as swinging the game. So you can see the power of this thing. Hopefully I'll get some other good games that are a little bit closer, where I can actually see the Dungeon Warden's ability be decisive. I will definitely post those games when they occur. See you guys soon.